What's happening, everybody? It's Sean with Reactions to the Classics. Today we got a great song battle on deck. We got Victor Jara's song, in English I'll say it, I Remember You, Amanda, versus Bruce Springsteen's song, Factory. We got a good old-fashioned song battle brought to us by a friend, longtime supporter, and patron of the channel, Fran. Thank you, Fran. Appreciate you. Appreciate all the patrons who make this thing go. If you'd like to support us in any way, check out that Patreon link below or the patron link on the end screen. We could not do it without the patrons. All right, let's jump into this. As so often is the case in Fran the Man's battles, I learned a lot here. So this song, I Remember You, Amanda, like I said, I won't butcher the Spanish pronunciation. From I Put or Place in Your Open Hands. I saw it put two different ways when I was researching an album in 1969. So Victor, I just never heard of Victor, obviously. I live in the United States, and so I just wow. He was a Chilean musician, singer, songwriter, teacher, writer, and theater director. He is an international reference for protest songs, although he never felt completely identified with that definition. He was one of the most emblematic of the musical social movement called New Chilean Song and one of the pillars of Latin American music. Following the coup that overthrew the government of Salvador Allende on September 11, 1973, Victor was arrested the next day by the armed forces of the newly established military dictatorship due to his militancy in the Communist Party of Chile. He was tortured and brutally beaten. His ribs were broken by kicks and his hands were fractured by blows with rifle butts. According to witnesses, while they insulted him in the midst of the brutal beating, his executioners mocked him by asking him to play his guitar. Now, I mean, I'm a Christian. It has so many similarities to when Christ was taken. It's kind of crazy. After 4 days, he was assassinated with more than 40 shots in the old Estadio Chile that, with the return of democracy, was renamed Victor Jara Stadium. Now, I pulled this from a couple different sources, so if it's wrong, I'm so sorry. That's what I pulled from a couple different sources, because I don't know, this is not part of my culture, and I definitely don't want to mess it up. So the song itself was composed in 1969 by Victor. It's a romantic composition and a political anthem at the same time. It talks about the precarious working conditions of the workers and that the brief 5-minute break that the couple has at work they take advantage of to see each other. Victor explained in his last concert that the song, quote, it speaks of the love of two workers, of those that you yourself see on the streets and sometimes you do not realize what exists within the soul. Two workers from any factory in any city, in any place on our continent. Now, before that, he had referenced a song and said, I Remember You, Amanda, is a song that I wrote in London. He was there for a theater deal because he was so well thought of in the theater. I already had something in my head. It's a story of a young couple of workers that I met. I became friends with them. I knew about their problems, and I felt when they separated. In the hotel where I lived in the English capital, accompanied by my guitar, I shaped a song. Now, there's another story that has to do with his wife and daughter and being away from them, and he wrote it, but during the same time period. I won't go into that because this was a story that I found the most often. All right, I'm going to have the lyrics up as always. Thanks again, Fran.
Te recuerdo, Amanda, la calle mojada, corriendo a la fábrica donde trabajaba Manuel. La sonrisa ancha, la lluvia en el pelo, no importaba nada, ibas a encontrarte con él, con él, con él, con él, con él. Son 5 minutos, la vida es eterna en 5 minutos. Suena la sirena, de vuelta al trabajo, y tú caminando, lo iluminas todo, los 5 minutos te hacen florecer. Te recuerdo, Amanda, la calle mojada, corriendo a la fábrica donde trabajaba Manuel. La sonrisa ancha, la lluvia en el pelo, no importaba nada. Ibas a encontrarte con él, con él, con él, con él, con él, que partió a la sierra, que nunca hizo daño, que partió a la sierra y en 5 minutos quedó destrozado. Suena la sirena, de vuelta al trabajo, muchos no volvieron, tampoco Manuel. Te recuerdo, Amanda, la calle mojada, corriendo a la fábrica donde trabajaba Manuel.
Okay, even if you didn't know the language, which I don't, but I mean, I had the lyrics up the English interpretation, which I'm assuming are right. I worked in 3 places. They all said the same thing. You just never know with those either. Just beautiful. Like you feel the emotion in his voice. And I'm just going to tell you the lyrics because they're beautiful. I remember you, Amanda, the wet street, running to the factory where Manuel worked. The wide smile, the rain in your hair, nothing mattered. You were going to meet him. It's 5 minutes. Life is eternal in 5 minutes. The siren sounds back to work, and you walking, you brighten, lighten everything. The 5 minutes make you bloom. So they were so in love, those 5 minutes matter. I just got to see you for a minute, and I can get through the next whatever, 8 hours, 4 hours, however much time is left. Like that, just feeling that I had to see you. But then it takes this like tragic turn. So that's another part I like about this song. You know, it brightens you in the first part, and then it just turns to tragedy in the second. Him who left for the mountain, who never did harm, who left for the mountain. And in 5 minutes, he was shattered. The siren sounds back to work. Many didn't come back. Neither did Manuel. Wow. So he lost his life at the factory because of the dangerous work. But she had those last 5 minutes with him, right? And then had to mean something. So just a fantastic song. I mean, yes, I see where you also, you know, it's a love song and a song of loss first and foremost. I also see where it's also a song of horrible working conditions and the effect that has, because I'm sure, like, we're to assume they probably would have got married, had kids, like the generational difference it made from those unsafe working conditions. So, I mean, fantastic. And next up, we have my all-time favorite solo artist, Bruce Springsteen. The song Factory off Darkness on the Edge of Town in 1978. It's a song he wrote about his dad. I mean, if you know anything about Springsteen, you know he had a difficult relationship with his dad. His dad suffered from some mental illness, but his dad went to work every day in the factory and worked super hard. So that's what this song's about. It never got a lot of, juice. Darkness on the Edge of Town, I think, is his second best album behind Born to Run. And I think it's really close. Like, I think this album is absolutely fantastic. So because there's so many great songs, this song doesn't stand out on the album. And so a lot of people don't know it.
Early in the morning, factory whistle blows. Man rises from bed and puts on his clothes. Man takes his lunch, walks out in the morning light. The working, just the working life. Through the mansions of fear, through the mansions of pain. See my daddy walking through them factory gates in the rain. Factory takes his hearing, factory gives him life. The working, just the working life.
as you would expect from Bruce. Fantastic songwriting. The first verse that talks about, the guy gets up early, puts his clothes on, gets his lunch, walks out in the morning light. Through the mansions of fear, the second verse, through the mansions of pain, I see my daddy walking through them factory gates in the rain. Factory takes his hearing, factory gives him life. And then each verse ends with some version of the working life. But the last verse, it's very interesting because it takes a dark twist as well. Just like the Victor song. End of the day, factory whistle cries. Men walk through these gates with death in their eyes because the job just takes everything from them. And you just better believe, boy, somebody's going to get hurt tonight. It's just the working life. So it wasn't walking through the gates that somebody's going to get hurt. It's walking out of the gates. Somebody's going to get hurt. Domestic abuse, those things, these workers who were beat down from their jobs, drinking, whatever, taking that abuse out on somebody else. So a dark twist, but a true twist, unfortunately, in a lot of people's lives. So this song it's good, man. It's well done. There's 10 songs on Darkness on the Edge of Town. I would rank this song 10th. And it's pretty darn good. If you've never listened to Darkness on the Edge of Town, I so encourage you to go listen to this album because this is not a bad song at all. Now I got to pick a winner, and it pains me. It pains me that Fran has done this to me, that he's made me pick against my favorite artist of all time, but it's not even close for me. It's Victor Jara. Fantastic song. It's got to be Victor. So let me know what you think of this battle down below. Who do you pick and why? All right, thank you to Fran as always. Thanks everybody for watching. If you're a Springsteen fan, just type Bruce Springsteen in that search bar. You're going to see a ton of stuff in there. And until next time, guys, I will see you.